we are going to discuss the transformer equivalent circuits. These particular equivalent circuits are derived with the help of practical transformer equivalents. So the practical transformer equivalent has been obtained after considering the winding resistance R1 and R2, leakage reactances as X1 and X2, core loss as a shunt resistance Rn, and the magnetizing reactance as a shunt element as Xm. So there is a load on the secondary side, that particular is related at ZL. So E1, E2 are the induced EMF on the primary and secondary. So there is a supply is on the primary side. We have already gone through the turns ratio and the mechanism to associate voltage and current from one side to the other side, and to associate the impedance from, let's say, secondary to the primary side likewise. Now in this particular we are going to obtain the exact equivalent circuit referred to the primary, and we will also be making some approximation to obtain the approximate equivalent circuit. On the analogous line we will be referring the equivalent circuit referred to the secondary. So we will be discussing the exact and the approximate both arrangement. We will also be dealing the phasor development for all four cases under consideration. Now there are two broad steps to obtain the referred equivalent circuit, or referred means you are interested in obtaining the equivalent circuit referred to the primary side or referred to the secondary side likewise. So the first step is scale the voltage, current and the impedance terms of one side to the level of other side voltage and current. So that particular is the first step. Now in this process the currents and voltages are coming out to be at the same level, okay? Or you can say the voltage and currents are referred to the same level of the parameters, so we can eliminate the ideal transformer. Here say there are two broad steps: scale the voltages, currents and the impedance terms of one side to the level of other side. When say the voltage, currents and impedance are related to the same voltage or current levels, then what is left, that will be the ideal transformer, and we can eliminate the ideal transformer as well. So finally it will be resulting into only the equivalent circuit, which can be handled like say an AC circuit. So in this particular scaling, because we have to refer the equivalent circuit to the primary, so this particular is a broad step as has been obtained. Now please be mindful that we have defined the turns ratio previously as A is equal to N1 upon N2. So when say we will be obtaining the equivalent circuit referred to the primary, we will be multiplying the secondary voltage term by the turns ratio like this. Secondary current is divided by the turns ratio as has been explained previously. We will be multiplying the impedance terms of the secondary R2, X2 and ZL by the square of the turns ratio. So with this particular process, the parameters will be referred or will be at the same voltage level, and thereafter we will be able to eliminate the ideal transformer as mentioned previously. Then the resulting circuit can be analyzed as an AC circuit. So these particular will be the summary of the relations which has been referred previously, and this particular is the practical equivalent circuit. Only difference here, say the circuit is closed here, so there is a load likewise. A is equal to N1 upon N2, so correspondingly you will be associating E2 dash is equal to A E2, V2 dash is equal to A V2, I2 dash is equal to I2 upon A, R2 dash, X2 dash and ZL dash, that will be the A square times the respective value, say R2, X2 and ZL. So this when implemented is resulting into the situation like this. Now what has been done, this E2 is now becoming the E2 dash. So the voltage level are coming out to be same, and you please refer that E1 is equal to basically E2 dash. this I2 is now I2 dash, which is equal to the I2 upon A, and that particular is exactly what has been referred over here. Similarly, the impedances terms are coming out to be. So here say the E1, E2, they are having the same voltage, and that is representing only the ideal case, ideal transformer, because other practical aspects have been represented on the left side or the right side likewise. So this particular can be eliminated and we can combine the terms likewise. So this is forming the equivalent. Now here in this equivalent there is no transformer as such, only say the supply, interconnection of the resistance and inductance parameters and the load, and we can solve it by the AC circuit approach. Now as far as the phasor development is concerned, we have to start that the secondary voltage which is now reflected on the primary side is now V2 dash, reflected current that will be I2 dash. So these particular are basically giving us the phasor relationship between the load, or you can say theta is corresponding to the load power factor. Now with this you can associate the voltage drop in the secondary windings, so that R2 I2 dash and I2 dash X2 dash are marked. So that particular is giving the internal voltage E2 dash. If suppose say we are having a node, that particular will be E2 dash. Now with this particular you have to add the magnetizing current component. So that magnetizing current component is drawn as I0, that is added with the I2 dash, and it is coming out to be the I1. So with this I1, that particular will be the current in the primary. Impedance drops are added to obtain the supply voltage or say the source voltage V1. So just like this, the same steps which we have carried out in the practical transformer case, here say the phasor development is now completed. Now the approximate equivalent circuit is to be obtained. So this is the exact equivalent circuit referred to the primary which we have obtained previously. So there are say the two modifications which are done in this. The magnetizing current or the no load current I0 is only the 5% of the rated current, and there is resistance and the leakage reactances are kept small as far as the design is concerned. So we can neglect the, or you can say, we can neglect the voltage drop in this series winding term because of this particular shunt no load magnetizing current, no load current also. So this particular magnetizing branch can be moved at the supply side, that is one arrangement, and thereafter you can combine the term R1 with the R2 dash, X1 and the X2 dash. So that particular is referring to the new value RE1, which is R1 plus R2 dash, and XE1, which is equal to X1 plus X2 dash. The final picture is now looking like this. So this particular is one arrangement. Now what we will be seeing, that this particular is coming out directly across the supply. So when say this particular is coming out to be directly across the supply, it is not participating in calculating the voltage, because the voltage is ultimately depends on the, let's say, V1, V2 dash and the I2 dash with this series resistance. It is not participating at all. And second particular point, that this particular current I0 is small, so we can neglect and form the another equivalent likewise. So this is one approximation, here say the another approximation likewise. Correspondingly, the phasor developments are shown here on side by side, so we can make a comparison. We have started with the V2 dash, I2 dash is marked depending on the current or the load nature. You have added the voltage drop. So here now you can see the simplified arrangement. Here say it is I2 dash RE1. This will be the I2 dash XE1 likewise. and you will be getting the V1. This particular I1, I0, they are not influencing on this particular phasor. So in the second approximation, this I1, I0, etc., they are eliminated and it is coming out to be a simplified arrangement. So these are, you can say, the two approximation, and with these approximation we will not be losing any significant accuracy, whereas the calculation and the phasor development is coming out to be much simplified. Now the equivalent circuit referred to secondary is obtained. So we will be going by the same procedure, where say the scaling the voltage, current and impedance term of primary side to the level of secondary side. So previously we have done this scaling for the secondary side parameter to the primary side parameter. Here say we have to scale the terms of primary side to the secondary side level. So previously we have already defined the turns ratio A as N1 and N2. So what we have to do, instead of multiplying, we have to divide the E1 and V1 by the turns ratio. Correspondingly multiply the I1 by the turns ratio. Divide the impedance terms by the square of the turns ratio, and through these particular steps the new values are obtained. And as mentioned, the ideal transformer will be eliminated and the resulting circuit will be treated as AC equivalent. So here say these are the three steps which are demonstrated previously. They are well explained. Now here the E1, so E1 dash that has come to the level of secondary while say dividing the E1 by turns ratio. Similarly, the I2 dash is now come to the level of I2 while say we have multiplied by the turns ratio. So on this line we will be able to have the modification on the primary side parameters, secondary are remaining unchanged. This is coming out to be the ideal transformer that is eliminated, and the resulting equivalent is now coming out to be like this. The development is to be carried out. So the secondary current is as it is V2 upon I2 because it is the equivalent referred to the secondary. So the load parameters are not going to be changed. Now we will be adding the voltage drop in the windings. So secondary voltage drop is added. Now we will be associating the magnetizing current. So this magnetizing current is basically on the primary side but reflected on the secondary side. So that is after multiplying by the turns ratio you are able to obtain the I1 dash. Correspondingly you have obtained the, or you can say added the voltage drop in the primary sides to obtain this voltage, which is the primary side voltage but reflected on the secondary. Approximation are also carried out on the same lines. So the magnetizing branch is now taken towards the supply side. So that is the first approximation. You have done the addition of the resistance terms likewise. So it will be like say RE2 and XE2 are resulted like this. Now the second approximation, as mentioned, that this particular magnetizing branch can be eliminated without having say significant loss of the accuracy. So when say the first calculation is concerned, we can make the approximation likewise. The phasor diagrams are on the analogous line. So because of say the neglecting the magnetizing branch, this I0 dash and I1 dash are not participating here. In this particular, basically the I1 dash is equal to I2. Now as a summary, that we can obtain the equivalent circuit referred to one side, that is high voltage or low voltage, by scaling the voltage, currents and the impedance term of the other side, low voltage or high voltage, to the level of previously considered winding, high voltage or low voltage. In all the equivalent circuits, the transformer is not appearing at all, and the rest of the circuit is treated as simple AC circuit. The performance will not be affected while say we are considering the transformer on one side or the other side equivalent. It can be referred to the high voltage side, it can be referred to the low voltage side. The performance will not be the same, only the numerical values will change accordingly. Approximate equivalent circuit simplifies the calculation without significant loss of accuracy. Next, we will be making use of these equivalent circuits and discussing the voltage regulation aspects. For further reading, you can refer the book Electrical Machines by Dr. Kothari and Nagrath from the McGraw-Hill Company. Thanks.